Hey people, it's Steel Gamer with the Outer Worlds video that's going to show how I went from the main menu here up to the point in the game where I stopped the video. At the end of this video, I'll be addressing key points and explaining to you why I made this video the way I did. Along the way, I'm also going to be pointing out things that Obsidian should have changed, fixed, and never should have allowed in this game to begin with. Due to the nature of this video, I'm not going to be allowing comments underneath this, and I'm not going to be engaging with trolls who want to say, well, why didn't you try this, or you didn't do this, and want to jump to the defense of all this, totally ignoring all of the key points that I'm making. If you want to say I'm bad at the game, then I'm bad at the game. If you want to say I suck or I'm a troll, that's fine, but I'm not going to be engaging with you, and it's not going to change these facts. So, without further ado, I'm going to get right into this, and we will take it from here. So I'm using a wireless Xbox One controller on the PC. The specs for this are up in the corner here. So I'll be addressing specific things that just really along this way in some of the customization here. So to speed this video up, I'll be skipping certain things, but addressing key points. So first things first, this screen needs to be better explained, okay? Yeah, you can get mad at me for saying this, but oh well. It still needs very specific key points addressed. Okay, took me 15 minutes to figure out I actually had to put the points where I have it highlighted. Because I was trying to put these here and then I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. So this screen is not really explained that well. Alright, all of this excess writing in here needs to be removed and just say this is what this skill does. All of this excess, well, Scientist Assistance Level 0 Class A, and they wrote all this excess stuff in here, means ridiculous because nobody's going to read all that. That's like reading a wall of text on a forum. Now, I know you guys are into, I know Obsidian's into, detail, but this is ridiculous because it has nothing to do with the game and doesn't actually go anywhere. Why don't you just say what the skill does? Okay. First of all, this is a first-person view, and it's a single-player game. It's completely pointless to have a character creation screen with this much detail into it. Since nobody's going to be seeing your character, and this is neither are you, this shouldn't even be in here. You should have taken all of this in the space for this part of the game and put it into more gameplay aspects. Also, not really sure why any character I make on a male aspect or female still looks like a female. Just going after that, so I don't understand this. Alright, so, let me put my name in here. Next. And this is just a confirmation screen, I take it. So I don't know if I can skip this. Yes, I can. I don't know how much of these I can skip. I'm skipping as much. Like I said, I'm skipping as much of this as I can for shortness of the video. I guess I can't skip this. I guess I can skip this now. Okay. First problem here is you have, if a new player is playing this and they see LS walk, or they use this, okay, why can't you just say push these buttons to walk? Okay, so great. If somebody doesn't know what LS means, that's fine. However, the point that you have here is you're now setting the player up to expect every type of basic instruction under that context. So I'm supposed to be, so a player who hasn't played this is going to be expecting every single key basic element to be popped up with a box with some form of button or keybind or whatever else it is with a detailed instruction. So I'm going to first point out that basic camera control is a functionality in the system. Why are you going to tell them that LS or WSAD walks, but you can't tell them how to turn the camera? That's bad. So let me continue here. So you have A to jump over obstacles. So you have movement, jump over obstacles, but you didn't tell them how to move the camera. That's ridiculous. So a new player is just going to do this. They're not going to know enough to change the camera, and this is why I'm not getting it into with trolls, because a new player is following the exact instructions on the screen by the developer. If you think somebody should do something, fine, that's your opinion, but don't go around saying they're supposed to be, because that's ridiculous, especially after the stuff I just explained. So if you don't tell them to turn the camera, this is what they're going to do. So if you use B to go underneath obstacles, or whatever it is, so what would it be? Left control. All right, so now, you never said press B, but you also never said to press it again to uncrouch. So what you should have there is a message that says press B to crouch, press B to not be crouched, or whatever the hell it is. So, I mean, case in point that. Because again, if you haven't told them to turn the camera, this is what they're going to do. And people can say whatever it is that they want. Now, I want to point something out here. Somebody who's not familiar with the controllers is not going to know what this means. Yes, you can say, well, look at that little arrow button says press, click down on it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to, some player can look at that and say, hey, that's just a visual around the circle, because why isn't that little arrow on every single button? That's my point. You can't say, well, it works here without being consistent across the board, because it wasn't on B to crouch, it wasn't on A to jump over obstacles, so why would anybody think that it means to do this on left sprint? Because you're going to say, well, buttons are automatically pressed. That's not relevant. You're talking about a consistency here. So let me see here. I'm just going to sprint. So for sake of this, I'm just going to turn the camera, but I'm just showing you where this crap needs to go. All right, so crouch to stealth. I guess I missed it. While sneaking, use tall grass. Okay, so here you're giving them a key factor and pieces of information, which is fine. So now a player is expecting that type of information to go on here. Awareness meters. Okay, so what you have here is the awareness meter. I want to point something out with this. The awareness meters over an enemy's heads tell you if they're unaware, suspicious, investigating, or alerted. The problem is you haven't explained where an enemy is, first of all, and secondly, what their meters look like, and how to tell whether the meter is aware or anything. You haven't explained any of that. You haven't actually had the player focus on that. A player's not psychic, so they have no idea. I actually, honestly, at this point, am still wondering why I'm being told about enemies when I haven't even been shown there are enemies in this game. For those of you going to say, well, you missed it, shut the hell up. That's not how this operates. If you're going to give me, this is a tutorial. They're supposed to be telling you how to play, not you have to do schoolwork to look this up. So here we go. I'm just sneaking because it said to. So now I'm just going to get up. I guess I got to go under here. Okay, so now okay. What just happened here, I don't know. You should have a message on the screen stating what that was about. And people are going to say, well, I need to listen to what he said. You've already put messages on the screen. You need to continue putting them on the screen. I don't care what this guy's talking about in my ear. I'm looking for some visual on the screen. So now, you have low health. Now, I don't know if I was supposed to do anything there or not, but the fact of the matter is, since you told me everything else, I'm expecting some other things, so I'm expecting falling down as part of this. Okay, if I was supposed to do something else there, you're supposed to tell me. Now, for those of you who want to say, hey, look at this, you were supposed to jump. No, it only told me A is to jump over obstacles. An obstacle is something that physically blocks you from moving. This rock is an obstacle. A space in the floor is not. So don't try to even confuse the two of them. If you're supposed to jump, they should have told you, jump over this. But since they didn't, that's fine. All right. Now,
Come here. You've tried the best now. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Then my gun misfired. What? Just barely scraped by with my life. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatic. Goodness. Some
So what you should have done here is started explaining everything about the dialogue options, what's what and everything else. Yeah, it says persuade, but that doesn't mean jack shit to anybody that's not paying attention to this. What intimidate? Great, I can intimidate. You're an idiot. Give me your gun before you get yourself killed. Okay, so I guess apparently I get 15 XP for that. Now, I have a gun in my hand. Okay, I'm assuming you get a gun regardless of which choice you do. I could be wrong in that, but anyway, the point here is that it tells you you've gained this stuff. At this point, you need to tell the person about their inventory. Okay, do you know anything about the hope? I'm just going to go through all these dialogue options.
Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little...
Okay, so I'm going to leave this because this is done. Okay, so RT attack. Now, for those of you that want to try to debate this point, because this is where the game ends, you got a gun, and it just tells you, in order to attack, you hit the right trigger. It doesn't say attack anything or aim here to attack anything. It just says RT to attack. It's just the same exact thing as a button, okay? Just like crouching through enemies. It didn't show you any enemies, so it's just giving you, stuff here. So I'm just going to walk around here for a bit. Right now, you should be explaining how to holster your gun, if you even can. You should have explained about the inventory, if there is one. All of this stuff needs to be explained in this particular point as you get it. So, you also haven't explained anything about the compass, maps, points, anything else, so a new player's not going to know about this. And without having any type of instruction like this on a tutorial, where you're basically teaching them how to play, then a player's not going to be psychic. Okay, so X, I guess. See, okay, so now you can say X, pick up the mag. I guess we're going to hoard shit. Okay, so now, where does this stuff go? Like, where did it go? I'm assuming I have an inventory, which, as soon as I pick up one thing, should have already been said, here is your inventory. So, this is where the game ends, because what you are not doing to a player is you're not explaining anything about a learning curve on what you have to do here. You're going to tell them how to, sprint, crouch, whatever, but you missed camera control, but then you're not going to explain to them anything about what you actually have to do in this area here. What exactly are you supposed to be doing? I literally was walking around in a circle in here for 15 minutes before I just shut the game off. Because if I'm in a tutorial or the beginning of a game and I've been told all this information, you're basically lying to the player about telling you're going to teach them how to play the game, because that's really what you've done here, and then you've left them with no information. To expect a player to know what to do here is moronic, and I don't really care how many players say, well, why didn't you try this? Did you see anything on the game that says what to do here? No. And it's supposed to be, because you already have given me all this information. If you do not explain to a player something to do here so they can take that information and apply it accordingly across the board to be able to use as a learning curve, all somebody's going to do is get fed up with this and shut it off and not understand why anybody's calling this game so good. You can't even provide proper instructions on basic information to be used as a learning curve. Without the learning curve, and everyone's going to say, well, why don't you look over here? It's blind. It's on your screen. None of that crap matters, because nothing came up as a pop-up box like left sprint, left thumbstick sprints, B crouches A. All of those pieces of information came up on the screen, so it's inexcusable to not have the rest of it come up on the screen for gameplay basics. And with that, I have finished the game because there's nothing to do here. Obsidian didn't want to tell me anything to do, and it's not my responsibility to be psychic or guess or leave the game to look it up, because I didn't get a game to have to leave the game to guess what I'm supposed to do here or have somebody tell me. This is the responsibility of the developers. They've told me all sorts of other things, but they can't tell me what I'm supposed to do here. Oh well. So, that's really all there is to this game. And I guess I'm done until Obsidian wants to actually fix the game with a proper in-game tutorial with everything you need to know so a player can use this as a learning curve. And again, camera movement, simple basic thing. Not explained in what to do here. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they didn't tell you what to do here, and just because they didn't put the camera control in. So, that's really all there is to this video. I finished the game. There's nothing to do here. Steel Gamer signing off. Have a good day or night.